Welcome to the Husker Army Podcast with your host, Husker fanatic Brian Knutson, former Husker wide receiver Kenny Cheatham, and Husker recruiting guru Matt Sass.
What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You're locked into another episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you by the Husker Army fan page on Facebook. Check those guys out. Join. They love every Husker fan. Everybody, I am one of your hosts, Mr. Brian Knutson. Joining me, as always, our other host, former Husker wide receiver, Mr. Kenny Cheatham.
Hello.
Kenny, here we are again, man. Same old song and dance. Nebraska drops a heartbreaker in Lincoln to Wisconsin, a 5-5 Wisconsin at that. Losing it late, 14-15. Wisconsin scoring with 35 seconds left for a go-ahead touchdown. Failed two-point conversion. Leaves us 35 seconds. As we saw with that game, I think we all knew 35 seconds. Look, miracles can happen, but they don't normally happen for us.
Right. Yeah. Once that pass on that, when he scrambled out and threw it, and the running back made the great catch.
It was an amazing catch. It really was.
It was a game, set, match.
I said the same thing.
I knew they were in position to score. I knew it was a high possibility that they would score. And once we stopped the running back in the backfield with the drive and the push, and he went outside, he got to about the 2 or 3. I said, that's it. I mean, we left him too much time on the clock because we were ineffective in our offensive game plan as far as running some of the clock out. They got it back and they scored.
Yeah, it seemed like the whole day was missed opportunities. You know, offense couldn't really sustain a drive. Getting 7 points in the first half, another 7 in the second half, and the drive in the second half was really aided by 30 yards of penalties on Wisconsin. So, I mean, look, Wisconsin's defense did a great job shutting down the run. It was great to have Casey back. We could see, a big upshift in offensive production when he's in there. And he was using his legs a lot. It was really encouraging to see that. He was finally, I mean, we'll get into why he was using his legs, but it was encouraging to see him, when containment breaks down, pockets breaking down, take off. He had lanes, and you could hear the fans. They're cheering. You know exactly what to do, and he did. He did exactly what everybody wanted.
Yeah, that's what he did it, but you were kind of hesitant once he started running, hoping he didn't get hit, take a good hit and get hurt again. So it was kind of almost like a double-edged sword in regards to that. You wanted him to run, get those first downs, but then you're like, okay, just don't take a vicious hit. So was he our leading rusher? Ended up being our leading rusher, probably.
Oh, he had to have been. Had to have been. A good reason for that is, I mean, let's call a spade here, Kenny. The offensive line is absolutely terrible, man.
The offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah, we can't get a push. We can't really sustain the run. We can't run. It is what it is, unfortunately. I think the best running game I think we saw was at the second or third game.
Yeah. What was it, North Dakota?
Yeah. Outside of that,
no.
It's when I watch the running back get the ball and their defensive players are in the backfield.
As he's getting the handoff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That should never happen.
It makes no sense. So I don't know, man. That makes us semi one-dimensional.
Oh, absolutely.
Semi one-dimensional. I mean, when your quarterback is the only reason he's getting those yards is because he's dropping back and their defenders are dropping back, and then he has open lanes to kind of cut through and run instead of your running back getting the handoff and being able to get yards straight ahead. That's a problem. and it's
Yeah.
been a problem all year. Which those guys up front need to look themselves in the mirror and say, check themselves and see what they're made about.
It worries
Made
me.
up, I mean, at what point do you say we need to control this game from the offensive line standpoint?
I think they tell themselves that a lot, but the problem is we're not seeing it. I mean, I don't know a single player that I've ever been around on any level that doesn't tell themselves, let's go do this. This is our job. But you do see time and time again the failing at that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're telling themselves that, but are they executing it? And
Not
from
at
what we
all.
see, no. I mean, when do you see them on the second and third levels getting blocked?
No.
That's what Nebraska fans and former players and linemen were accustomed to. But like I said, I always hate going back to what we were accustomed to. This is a new era of that, but that's what you see Michigan doing. That's what you see Illinois doing. That's what you see Minnesota doing. That wears down the defense. That opens up holes for your offense. That gets the running backs yards. I can tell you one thing from firsthand perspective. That second and third level, those corners, safeties, and linebackers, they don't like being hit the entire game. They don't like linemen on them the entire game. They don't like receivers on them the entire game. If you go back and look at older Nebraska games when we played, we were option, we ran the ball, of course. But watch how they were running away from getting hit later in the game. Because
Yeah,
those
you got
linemen were on their head, we were on their head, the tight ends were on their head. But you know what I mean? Just the physicality from constantly getting hit. Those are finesse players. Linebackers are gritty, but they're semi-finesse. Secondary is all finesse. So if you get those linemen on that level, they know they're coming because the run game is so effective. It changes how they play. But we just haven't been running the ball.
yeah, and it seemed like, early on in the season, I thought, pass protection maybe looked a little bit better than run blocking. This game, all of it was completely exposed. I mean, Casey had almost a non-existent clock in his head because he couldn't. They could not even give him 3 seconds to go through reads and get rid of the ball. I mean, and that's your standard time as an offensive line to give your quarterback on pass plays, for God's
Yeah.
sake. Three
Two and a half,
seconds.
2.5 to 3 seconds.
Yes, that's all they're asking. So
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me how these guys keep going to practice, believing that they're getting better. And I'm sorry, I hate to say this about any player, but you're not, guys. You're not. You have not gotten any better. If anything, things are looking a little bit worse. The one thing I can say is haven't seen a whole lot of false starts, not a whole lot of holding. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
There's your gold star. There's your silver lining right there. But that is it. Other than that, it's almost as if they're regressing.
Yeah, it's hard, man.
It's
We
very
hate to
hard.
sound like we're beating them up, but
We're
it's
just
hard.
we're just saying what everybody's seeing, man.
Yeah, it's hard to see the same thing over and over again. It wears you down. Um, you're like, this is the same thing once again.
Yeah.
Doing the same thing once again. You know what I mean? So when are we going to stop seeing the same thing once again? When are we going to say we have the lead, let's hold this lead?
Yeah.
We always seem to not be able to sustain and maintain and hold that lead, which to me is a focus problem. As far as with the players, I mean, you can coach people up oh so much, but that you have to be the one to go out there and execute it.
Yeah. Only
You
so
have
much
to
can
say,
be blamed on coaching.
yeah, you have to say it's 3rd and 3. We're gonna get these 3 yards.
Man up.
Yeah. oh, this is that pass play. I'm going to get open to put myself in position for him to be able to give me the ball. We're going to give the quarterback time to get this. I'm going to make that throw. Like I said, the offense, said last week, the offense is drastically different with Casey Thompson back there. It opens it up. I told everyone who's going to be the primary beneficiary of Casey Thompson being back.
All
And,
Trey.
and who was that?
It was Palmer.
So,
Man, accounting for the amount of points we got.
yeah. So, I don't say stuff just to be saying stuff. I say stuff from watching and looking and seeing and knowing the significance of having that threat of that quarterback there, what it would do. But I don't know. Our defense was once again sustained, maintained until the end. But when they're doing that, you have to help them on offense. Right?
And that's one of those things too, as far as our defense goes. Look, they bent a lot in that game, but they didn't break. I mean, they seriously held a running back that's over 1,000 yards. Granted, he was pretty banged up with that shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
But even with the other slew of backs that they had, they did a pretty good job wrapping them up and keeping them under wraps. It seems like no matter what happens, they just continuously get worn down. And yeah, they were getting beat on toward the end, royally getting beat on up front, just getting pounded. They did make some great plays toward the end, but unfortunately not enough. It just worries me that they're constantly getting worn down like this. This has to come back to strength and conditioning. It has to.
Mm.
It's worrisome.
Yeah, I don't know because I can agree with that, but then I would say I don't know because I'm not in there and see what they're working as far as that aspect of it. But
Yeah, with just the information we have, that's what it's got to be.
It's rinse, wash, and repeat. It's like same thing. We're having the same conversations week in and week out. We've been seeing the same thing happen for the last couple of years. At what point do we stop it?
Well, we thought we did 4 years ago.
I mean, what point do we stop it? Yeah, we thought we did 4 years ago, but I will down this bridge before you were worried about doing that to stop what was happening. It wasn't happening.
No,
we were winning 9 games.
Yeah.
So, I will be a defender of Bo Pelini, and what he was doing. Now, we would have wanted more talent and all that, et cetera. And, we had the bad losses. But we weren't a joke.
No.
The laughing stock. We don't have clowns like Colin Cowherd talking about us.
Oh, God.
And, these teams talking smack about us. We didn't have that. So
we got beat by Georgia Southern. Yeah, we've become.
We've decided not. I'll say we. I wasn't part of it. I was not in agreement with that.
Me either.
The people decided because of his antics, they didn't want him, and they put pressure on the university because the way he treated the media and talked to them and his antics, that they wanted him out, and they fell for it and they took him out. They did. And what have we been since? So I hope you're all happy who wanted that. I hope you're all happy who wanted Coach Solich gone, because I'm going to go back to that. I hope you're all happy with everything you said to push that man out. We're a 3-win team, 3 to 4 win team.
Yeah,
that's soaking. That's a 6-win difference. We're hoping to get 4 and 5 wins. We're hoping to get in the bowl game. This is just my rant because it's true. Because I was so infuriated when it happened, Brian, because I said, and I was on 97.3 The Ticket the other day with Rashawn, and we were talking about that. And I said I was so upset when they did that. in regards to who the coach search was and who they were looking at and who he ended up with. I was so upset because I said, oh, you mean to tell me this is what we've come to now? These are the coaches that we're going after? You're telling me we're not big enough to get big dogs in here, or is it that we don't want to pay them? It's one or the other. But you're telling me we want a Houston Nutt or Rich Rodriguez, and then whatever that fiasco, and then we go to this, and then we settle on to Mike Riley because we just want to get rid of Coach Pelini so bad. Sure, like I said, I'm sure he's a great person. I don't know the man. But I'm on the West Coast, people. I see Oregon State. I know what they've been up to read. They're doing good this year, but I know they were barely under 500, barely 500 here and that. Yep. They were not a program. I have buddies that went to Oregon State. They were not something you sat and said, I'm going to Oregon State. No. But that's what we pulled because he was a good person and he had big wins against USC. This is all the stuff I heard. But I can say one thing. I think he had a 9-win year, 10 wins.
He did.
So that was the last time we were decent.
Yeah. That
1 year. And I sit back and I watch the game, and I know some of those kids there that are here are still here in Frost's first year. And I sit back and say, I wonder how they feel about turning down that bowl game now.
Yeah. No senior that walked during the Wisconsin game has experienced a bowl game.
They had a chance.
Yep. And they said, no, it's holiday vacation. What's the point?
But I think that was a boycott to him, how he came in and how he was talking about them and blaming everything on them. I think that was a response to that.
Well, there used to be. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
No, but I'm saying, but now they're. Jesus Christ. They use no Lord's name in vain, but my God.
that's not even close to in vain. That's definitely way more mild mannered than anything I probably would have said. So
man, oh man.
Used to be an old joke, when Callahan was let go, him and oh God, who was it? Kevin Cosgrove, the defensive coordinator, that they had taken jobs as bobsled coaches. And you get that puzzled look on your face when someone says that, and you're like, nobody'd ever seen him take a team downhill so fast. Well, you know what? I hate to say it, but that joke needs to go to the previous coach now. It really does. If things are to be believed, as we've heard from pretty reputable sources, yeah, that's exactly what he did, and he enjoyed every second of it. It seems. Damn. I know. I'm not going to ask you to bash former teammate there, Kitty. Trust me. Not going to do it. All right. Back on track here. Anthony Graham. Looking so good at the beginning of the season. Started calling king of the jump cut, and I think that kind of got in his head because it starts to become the only thing he does. He needs to really get north and south as quick as possible.
Right.
He's doing a little too much dancing back there that I see. Granted, there's no hole or anything, but
on those I can get it. But I literally watched him. Oh, how much time was left in the game? I'm trying to think.
I think I know the one you're talking.
Ran straight, and then he went to the south, went sideways, and ran into his own teammate.
Yeah, and he could have gotten 4 or 5 more yards had he just kept going straight.
Over his shoulder.
Yep.
And I don't understand it. Maybe he's seeing something that we don't see, but we're looking at the same thing you're seeing, but we know it's going at a different speed when you're on the field.
Yeah.
But my man, go this way, not this way. I'm seeing a lot of it. I'm just so confused. I'm just really so confused. Like, I don't understand Tommy Hill, that's his name, back there returning kickoff. I haven't seen, maybe I'm not in practice, so maybe he looks great in practice. I don't know. But I haven't been impressed with him back there returning kickoffs.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing once he gets the ball. It's not like I'm getting him a go. Kickoff return is one of the hardest but easiest things you can do.
Oh, absolutely.
Catch the ball and you go. You look and see. You're physically looking at everyone and which way they're running.
Yeah.
You can go, make a cut, boom. Another cut, boom. You're in and out. But when he got that last kickoff return at the end of the game, I was like, I don't understand this.
Nope.
And then he was tiptoeing. I don't know. It's just sometimes I don't know what they're doing, Brian. I just have no clue, and I'm like, oh, that was silly. Well, what is that? That that was a bad decision, or just like the drops, or like the defense is playing. They played well yesterday.
Yeah.
At the end, it came down to them, and they scored. Like I said, the great catch, I think on the scramble when Buddha was holding the running back and he ran past him and he caught it. The great catch.
It was.
And the pop out when they had him stopped and the holder put him on 2 or 3, then they got in there. That was a hell of a hit. Nelson stopped him on a 2-point conversion. He blew that dude up.
Oh, that was a pop.
Yeah, but I mean, just defense can only take so much.
Exactly.
I mean,
you've said it the last 3 games. You can't be out there over half the game or almost 3/4 of the game.
Yeah. So I don't know. Last game, what was that? Who the hell we played last game?
Oh, Jesus.
Michigan. Oh, Michigan. Last game, we never really crossed their side of the ball. You can't win on your side of the field.
No.
This game, we did some stuff. We weren't as effective as we wanted to be offensively, but we got to run the ball, man.
And the other thing I've got to say about Grant, dude, is there's at least one instance, there may have been more, where he is royally missing picking up the blitz. Or even just when he's back there in pass pro, period, he's not catching that guy coming in. He's completely whiffing it, looking at the wrong gap, and they shoot the other one right next to him. By the time he notices it, they're already to Thompson. So he's got to get better at that. Yeah. And I'm sure that's why Ramir can't be in there for things like that. He's tiny compared to Grant.
Ramir's tiny in person?
Yes. Compared to Grant, yeah. Much tinier. But I don't know. The experience, maybe Ramir would probably sacrifice every ounce of his body right now to see that field more.
Yeah. Ramir would still be running he would be almost to Brazil. From that drop ball, that one game. Was that Indiana? Or who was that?
Who, Illinois?
Illinois, whatever. When the game changed, if he would have caught that pass, he would have been so wide open, he'd be almost to Brazil, still running. So,
that makes 9 straight losses to Wisconsin now.
I think they said 2012?
2012 was the last time we beat them.
It's been like 10 years?
Yep.
And everybody talks about Iowa. I told people, we want to argue on Twitter. Now Wisconsin is the one that's been giving it to us.
Oh, we're going to get into Iowa. Yeah. Because, look, as far as this damn Wisconsin game goes, that's enough. We've seen it before. Same movie. The sequel sucks. The trilogy sucks. The whole franchise sucks right now.
Yeah.
So we'll move on from that crap because it is officially over. It is Sunday. It is now officially Iowa Hate Week.
Oh.
And it's a thing. It's a thing. It's Iowa Hate Week. The Iowa's, look, Scott on Gen Red, he always says it. Iowa has bad corn. It's true. It's very true. Nobody really knows this, but I believe Iowa may have the worst corn throughout the country. It's a little known fact.
Really?
It's a little known stat. I do some research here and there. Iowa's corn's terrible. I've heard it's caused mutations. I've heard it's caused arrhythmic heartbeats.
Somebody growing an extra leg or something? Mutation?
I'm telling you, tails have been grown. Extra digits. Kenny, it's a scary thing. There's a reason people don't like being in Iowa. And I
Oh,
feel for the ones that live behind enemy lines. My salute to them. You are way braver than I ever will be.
that's hilarious.
So, yeah, it's Iowa Hate Week, Kenny. And look, this Iowa team, what can I say about them? I don't want to say anything nice, but I will say their defense is kind of scary.
Yeah,
They've done an amazing job this year. They really have. They're the only reason they've won some games.
yeah, they've had to make up for that offense. I mean,
Yeah. There we go. Their offense.
let's just keep it real.
Holy crap, are they terrible? Like, I thought our offense was bad. Here's the sad part. I think our offense is better than theirs. And
Yeah,
we've only got
absolutely.
3 wins. They have 6. They're bowl eligible.
Yep.
How? I don't get. I've never. Okay, wait. Maybe I have seen a defense carry a team like that before. Our '09 defense when we had Sue, Crick, Amukamara, all those guys. I mean, that
Mm.
was a stellar defense. Yeah, they carried us a lot. So yeah, as far as that game goes, boy, that's in my opinion, throw everything out. It is going to be the biggest test our offensive line will face all year, and it's the final game. It's when everybody's banged up, everybody's nicked. You got just things hankering you, but you got to play. Is this gonna, Kenny? Tell me now, preach it, put it on the gospel, my friend. Oh, can the offensive line finally put it together for just one damn game and beat Iowa?
I would hope so. I wish they would. I hope they do. I can't guarantee or say they are because we're going to, I mean, it depends on. That's something they have to look at themselves and see and decide. Do you want to go out losing to a team? Well, I mean, Wisconsin, four of my 4 years of playing. At some point, you have to say, nah, enough is enough, because you're going to hear their mouth. But it's up to them, my friend. I mean, I think our offense can be effective if we're able to run the ball. Let's run the ball. God, let's run
We
the ball.
can't.
That's going to be the problem.
The O-line's got to open up a damn hole.
That's going to be a problem.
Even somebody like Ramir, you give him at least a crease, for God's sake. He can squeeze that little body through there.
Because he's quicker hitting the
Very.
hole, quicker back.
Maybe that's another thing. Do we shake things up in the backfield? We saw Gabe Irvin come in yesterday for a play or two. Had a decent game. Not afraid to put his head down, get north and south. And neither's Ramir.
Because I'm just confused. I'm just confused. Our offense is throw the ball to Trey Palmer, throw the ball to Trey Palmer, throw the ball to Trey Palmer, throw the ball to Trey Palmer. What about the other guys?
Washington,
I mean,
Vokalek,
yeah, I don't know, man.
Borkature. I know I'm forgetting. Who the hell is number 4?
They should be able to beat Iowa.
They should.
We can honestly look at this and say there's some games out of these last ones they should have won. Purdue, Illinois, Minnesota.
Yes.
This past game. Michigan would have been different if Thompson was playing, but I think they would
Yeah.
have eventually possibly been worn down. But our offense would have been in a different space. We would have been a threat to throw the ball downfield. But I don't know, man. It's just hard to watch week in and week out, seeing the same stuff happen because we're repeating the same stuff when we have to do this about what we should be doing, things they should have already been doing this time of the year.
I know. Wouldn't you like to have the problem of doing like an Alabama Crimson Tide podcast and you're bored of talking about winning all the time?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I would ever not be a Husker fan. So don't try and take that shit out of context at all. Not what I'm saying here. I'm just saying it would be nice to do that with us.
Yeah. Tired of talking about the same stuff else.
Yeah,
What we could have done, what they should be fixing and correcting.
I know. I know.
Hard but
Yeah.
fair. Truth.
All right. Well, Kenny, you believe we can win that game? I heard it come out of your mouth. You believe we can. So can
Yeah.
I. I believe so too.
Yeah.
Even at our worst, I still think we can beat them. I really do. It's their offense is so atrocious, but yet our defense ain't really that good either. But they've gotten better under Bill Bush. So that's a plus.
We'll see.
And real quick, before we're out of time, I forgot about this. Garrett Nelson decided not to walk on senior day yesterday, which means to me that's saying he's coming back next year.
Who's that?
Garrett Nelson, number 44 on defense.
Yeah, I remember him saying he wasn't going to walk out or something.
I thought it was due to injury. I'm completely wrong, obviously, because he was in there. And they didn't say a word about him walking during senior, uh, I don't know what senior day. And to me, that says he's coming back.
Hmm.
So he must have had an extra year that he could use,
Yeah. You want
which
to
I'm
hear
all
it?
for. I think
You
he'll
want
be
to
like
hear
a seventh year senior.
it? Jeez, a lot of years.
Hey, if it develops the young man to get him to the next level, I'm
Yeah.
all for it. Not to mention, hell of a leader.
Right.
All right. Well, hell, Danny, I think we covered that crap. We talked
Yeah.
about Iowa. We talked about Wisconsin. So it's sounding like, other than this bonus episode we got coming up here, and we're also, I'm not sure, Kenny, you won't be able to join us at the 6 o'clock one with Jen Red, unfortunately. You've got plans, not a problem. But we'll be joining Jen Red, doing a little bonus episode with them, if you will, talking about outside candidates for head coach. Our bonus episode will involve talking about our arguments to keep Mickey Joseph as head coach. So hopefully you guys check all that out as well. So I guess, Kenny, we'll just shut it down. You ready?
Yeah, brother.
All right,
Ready.
man. All right, guys, you know what to do at this point. Find us on Twitter, Instagram at Husker Army Pod. Check us out on YouTube, Husker Army Podcast. And of course, if you for your audio, find us anywhere. You find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Buzzsprout. I'm not sure. I don't know, Podbean. You probably find this anywhere you can find podcasts. So pretty simple.
Yep.
So for myself, Brian Knudsen, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, I guess Husker Army. You got one more to go if you don't count the bonuses. So, Husker Army, you know what to do. At ease, you are all dismissed.